YouTube, Darren here. Over here on the big shop side, looking at stuff, kind of getting an idea as to what I want to do to get everything situated, what all I'm gonna need, and it's gonna be a lot of room over here, sure enough. And of course, I'm looking at the Murray gauge. I was thinking about going ahead and start putting that transmission back together, and then later on getting it set up to where I have a live axle in the back attached with a chain and everything, because this is one of the ones I want to get going, because this is just it was such a fun build and it's such fun to ride, and it's an unusual build. I really want to get this guy going back, but I keep breaking stuff. I don't know, things are getting kind of busy and I don't have a lot of time to do the goofing off stuff right now. This is that 17.5 horsepower. This is out of that Boland's that I had bought, I can't remember, November, December, something like that. And that we got the motor going on. It cranks, runs, rides, rolls. The blades do engage, but one of the there's a problem with one of the shafts. So I think what we're going to do, not today, because I've about burned up my daylight walking around here looking for transmission parts. I'm going to swap this motor out into that Craftsman that has that little Tecumseh 11 horsepower. The Tecumseh 11 horsepower, it cranks and it moves it, but I can't sell it that way. Nobody will want to buy a nice big Craftsman LT1000 with a little bitty Tecumseh on it. So it's all about what they want. They want those. So that's what I'm going to do probably this weekend, although I do want to get some riding in. I tried last weekend. I ended up having to work and it rained and I had to help Andy. So couldn't really get all that stuff done, but I think that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to take this guy, take off tires, everything else, scrap it out and sell it, and make my money back from it. Now we're back. Maybe y'all can help me with something here. This is a old Peerless Transaxle 5-speed. Came out of a Murray. That much I do remember. Old Murray. Came out of a, and I wrote, this is how I identified them a long time ago, 36-inch cutting deck out of a Murray. It's a 5-speed. It's a ball buster, and it is a Peerless by Tecumseh. You can kind of see. I have never cracked that thing open. I can't really use it, but I am curious to see what's inside it, because it is a huge transmission case or transaxle case. I've always been wanting to mess with that, but I just never had an excuse to tear that thing open. I might have to do something with that. If anybody knows anything about these, I'll show you what I'm talking about how big and thick these things are. It's about as tall as a beer can, 5 or 6 inches. I'm curious to see what's inside it. But anyway, I'm trying to find a bottom pan over here that I have not destroyed to go ahead and start rebuilding that other transaxle. This is a 6-speed, I want to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we got a bingo here. But I do have a small hole in the bottom, and I can actually fill that in so it won't leak. That's about all JB Weld is good for. Plugging it, letting it dry, smoothing it out, that's it. That's all it's good for. It's good stuff, but that's what it's good for right there. And I'm trying to find another transaxle. I'm gonna have to start buying some more mowers because I'm running out of transmissions, because Kudzu used to eat transmissions. That's a Peerless. This may work, although I have a chain in it. I don't think the other one has a chain in it. I'll have to go out and take a look at that. Anyway, guys, let me grab this piece and we're going to walk over to the house side and take a look.
I grabbed
More
the
to come.
wrong one. I did need the one with the chain.
So, I have to go back over there and get that. These are the newer ones. I'll have to put them together. Actually, I just ought to go ahead and build that one and put the cap on it and be done with it. This is a 6-speed. That one's a 5-speed. And you can obviously tell, y'all may already know this, I'm sure you do. And you just count these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that'll tell you. And you'll actually have 6 for the other side. If you took a spacer, these things right here are killer diller, because I can take this spacer out, put another gear in here, that meshes up to another gear right here, and I can have 6-speed. That's all you do. Is you can I can make a 2-speed if I wanted to. If I had enough spacers, you can do that. So, dadgummit, grab the wrong one. Got to go back over there, but I'm not going to do it now because, like I said, I am running out of time.
We're back.
More to come. The spillway just opened up upstream, and so when the water gets to going, the water gets to going. My thought is, at some point, I'm going to build a little bitty paddle wheel that goes across right there. When the water's up, it's only about 6 inches deep right there, but it's flowing pretty fast. And so I'd love to do that and have it to power 1 or 2 bulbs inside there in the shop, because it's free. And it flows not quite this fast, but it flows pretty regular all year long. There we go. Now, actually, to what I was turning the camera on for. This is the winch. This is how I'm looking to set it up. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing on before I lose any more parts. I just have so many other things going on. I'm getting pulled in different directions. This is what I'm looking to do to set it here. I'm going to cut this hood. I will either cut these bottoms out or put a long rod through here with a pin on the end, and then when you want to take the hood off, you pull the pin off and then just pick the whole hood up. This is the plate. I'm going to cut it off here and have it hanging off right here, I think, at that point, and then going to drill through this to reinforce. I'm going to weld it, and then I'm going to drill through this, and again on the opposite sides in the same place. And that will take care of the winch problem. I think that will do well. And then I can run the wiring. That's really no big deal, is the wiring. But that's how I'm going to have it done, I think. I have thought about putting it offset just a little bit to protect it a little more. You know, it may be offset. I think I'm going to do it that way. Actually, I don't think I'm going to have it centered, because that'll give that a little bit more protection. And I actually have a big plastic foam boot that I can slide over this. I'll show you in another video. So I think that's what I'm going to do to get that set up like that. And I think I can lift it in the air once I get it bolted up. The weld should hold, but hey, I welded it, you never know. I was going to come out here and we're going to go through this thing, go ahead and get it cleaned up, refreshed, and go through the carburetor. But first thing I do is open up the fuel tank, turn it over, and pour it out. And out pops a little filter. Well, that's a bad thing because I don't have any fuel line. I ran out of fuel line. So I'm going to have to get some fuel line in this size, and then we'll be able to go through it and see if we can get it going. What I know about it, you know, it sat in somebody's basement for a year. It's probably been neglected. It does have good compression though. I will say that. I'm actually going to take the filter, stick it back in there so we don't lose it. So we'll give her a go and see what we can get out of it. Every now and then they'll say, oh, it's not worth it, just toss it if you would, and I might be able to save a muffler or the carburetor or part of something like that, so I'll do that and stick it aside. But before I forget about anything else. Sulphur City Designs, guys, for all your off-road mower modding, and stickage needs. If you need custom work done, go to them, tell them what you want done, and they will do it. I've given him like crude little drawings on a napkin, picture of it, and he comes back with art. It looks really good. Southern Off-Road Mowers on Facebook. Dang, we're almost up to 1,100 now. Gonna have that draw in the end of the month. Hadn't forgotten. Hope y'all didn't either. ATLTF.com. Bunch of good guys. Post your builds. People who do the same crazy stuff that we do. Don't you hate it when somebody says, well, where's the deck? How do you cut grass with it? Come on. Bryce Brown, thank you for subscribing, man. I appreciate it. Scott Buckman, thank you, sir. And Billy H. Talked to you on the phone a little while ago, Bill. Thanks. I did not know you watched all my videos. It's kind of creepy. I may get a restraining order. Guys, going in the house, going to clean everything up. Got to put that stuff up. Y'all gonna make some mayhem.